Okay. See if we can make this one look good. Okay. We're using that now. We're using photo paper for this. See if we can make this look good. We'll soon find out if it looks any good with that mode. Now we've got to enlarge that later when we look at the size of it. This one's probably going to look mostly black and whitish, even though it's coloured. So we're just going to ram up the, make the density lighter. So we're just going to go and set this silly piece of Konica Minolta shit up to do something really interesting, hopefully. Okay, so, oops, I'm itchy, sorry folks. I get itchy a lot of the time. It's not the best. Anyway, we're just going to get our original. It is another Australian fridge magnet, except it's, of course, as usual, it's made in China. Fucking irony. You could call it an Australian irony to some extent, because it seems it's been going on for decades or years that Australian products are made in China. It's kind of ironic. No, you know, it's not fair on the Chinese who worked hard and paid little. That's the only reason why they make it. They don't make it in Australia. So just check the size. Is that basically it costs more to pay Australian workers, because Australian workers expect more money than the Chinese do, it seems. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the big companies that make this shit, or even the small companies, they just do everything offshore. And it's like, where are the fucking jobs if we're going to offshore everything? It's like we're selling our fucking country. That's what these big companies like to do. They don't give a shit. As long as they can sit in a CEO's chair and sip on a cup of coffee and do shit all, maybe pull their fucking dick. Usually they're male, so that's what I'm using that. So they just pull their fucking dick on because of their love of money, and the dick, they get so turned on by money that they just want to make less jobs for Australia and make the Chinese work extra hard for less pay. No one wins except the CEO and the staff. And, you know, this has come up a treat. The colours look really good. We just have it, it's a little bit crooked, but we won't get too fussed. Only thing is, it's got to be, we've got to make it a bit smaller for this. It's a little bit too big. We want the word Australia to show up. So basically, yeah, it's like they just pull their fucking dicks doing shit all. They're lazy little fucks. They wouldn't know what a fucking day of hard work really was. They wouldn't. They just know how to fucking pull their dicks and make the money and whatever. They're just dickheads. They're just useless cunts. I've got no time for rich people and their fucking tomfoolery. And it is tomfoolery. It's foolishness. They don't get it. But it's not making anyone else smile except for them. They're the fucking dicks. Now that's still not good enough. Still got to make it. I'm just wondering if I should. I was thinking of making it less crooked, but it's not going to be easy doing that. So now we just got to make this even smaller. So yeah, it just seems that these rich people are getting increasingly greedy. It's a fucking joke. Honestly, I wish I could fucking smash their heads in for fucking being dickheads. Kick them in the fucking guts. Show them they're not fucking really, that these CEOs are not really Australian. They're fucking, I don't know what you could call them. I mean, shit. What can I say? It's just not fair. It's just not Australian to make Australian souvenirs in fucking China or anywhere else but Australia. You got to make it in Australia, fuck yous. You don't know a fucking thing about business. You think you know it all. You got your fucking money and you take your fucking money and run. You fucking gutless little pricks. You know, And if you don't like my language, you can go fuck yourselves, because I'll use more of that language to describe who you are and what you do, and I'm going to use that fucking language. I'm going to be tub thumping as hard as I can to insult the living shit out of you and maybe make you a little bit frightened of the working class, you bitches. Oh, you rich fools who make these souvenirs overseas. Go sit on this, bitches. Fuck, I'm sick of these assholes. That bloody... They don't care. They don't give a shit. They couldn't give a fuck about our country or even China. Fuckwits. Anyway, we're going to make this into something interesting. It's just not fucking Aussie anymore. It's just not Australian anymore, you know? What's the point? I mean, tourists want to buy. I'm sure most tourists would want to spend a little bit extra and buy something that is actually made in Australia. Not made in China or made anywhere else. Not even made in America. Made in Australia is what we want. Oh no, I thought we're in mirror image mode. Sorry, I'm just really pissed. When I'm pissed, I just don't concentrate. So I'm just going to line these up and make these into a mirror image. So I'm just disappointed that Australian products or Australian souvenirs have to be made overseas. It's cheaper. So obviously the people who run the souvenir companies couldn't give a fuck about the souvenirs as such. They still look good, but to make them in China instead of Australia is just a joke. It's not fucking funny, bitches. You're not making me laugh. You make me angry. I couldn't give a fuck. If you died, I'd fucking spit on your grave if I knew who the fuck you were and where your grave was. That's how much I hate you rich people. You bitches. Fuck me dead. This is not Australian. Have everything offshored. All because you want to save a little bit of money for your fucking dumbass company. And the fucking dicks. You don't give a shit. You don't give a shit about Australians. You don't give a shit about Chinese or any other country. You just care about your own selfish little bitchy selves and your fucking money. That's all you give a fuck about. You don't give a fuck about anything. You dickheads. I hope you fucking see this. Whoever you are, the CEO of the company who made this, I fucking hope you're fucking scared, because you're a fucking dickhead. But anyway, we'll just see the bright side. We've now created an interesting demo, and yeah, I think this demo is more Australian than your fucking stupid company. So now I've just got to go. It's time to quit.